Hello and welcome to another edition of the DBE TV News. You can watch this bulletin on the DBE TV News YouTube channel, the DBE YouTube channel, and on OpenView channel 122. I'm Palesa Magolego. In our top stories, MEC's work on financial recovery plans. A strong foundation and the importance of reading highlighted once again. Basic Education and Higher Education Director General lead the second Education Working Group meeting. Basic Education Minister Siviwe Gwagube has urged the MECs to work on financial recovery plans for their provinces. She was speaking during the Council of Education Ministers meeting held in Sun City in the Northwest. The meeting was attended by the Deputy Minister Dr. Regina Mhaule, Director General Matanzi Mamweli, provincial heads of education departments, and officials from the department. It has been a tough time for the basic education sector, with financial constraints in some provinces leading to teachers losing their jobs. Gwagube says recovery plans from the provinces will go a long way during the conversations with the National Treasury.
This particular slot in the CEM is for you to ventilate the issues that the provinces are facing. But I don't think it's enough for us to simply paint the picture of what has gone wrong. I think it's time now that we take it to the next step, and that in the next CEM, I think each province needs to come and present some kind of recovery plan, some kind of financial recovery plan that is within the ambit of the province, within the powers of the province. What can the province do in itself to try and mitigate some of these things? I know it may seem like a drop in the ocean, but it also makes our argument to Treasury a lot more powerful to be able to say all 9 provinces have committed to one, doing head counts of learners and staff, doing this. All of the provinces are committed to doing these things to clean up their governance side of things. And so it's not the governance and the inefficiencies that's a problem, it's actually the actual financing.
The importance of children having a strong learning foundation has once again taken the spotlight during the Early Childhood Care and Education Seminar. The seminar, held in Sun City in the Northwest, was hosted by the Department of Basic Education as co-chair of the G20 South Africa Working Education Group. During her address to the local, regional, and international delegates, Minister Siviwe Gwagube expanded on the significance of investing in the early years of a child's life through a solid curriculum.
Investing in the early years of a child's life is not just an optional extra. It's the most strategic and cost-effective investment a society can make. The evidence is overwhelming. Brain development in the first 5 years of a child's life lays the foundation for health, for learning, and social behavior throughout the lifespan. And as I have emphasized in Parliament, early child development is not a luxury, nor is it about just child care. It is the bedrock of a successful education system. If we are to reimagine education in South Africa, then we need to improve the outcomes across the board, and we must start at the beginning.
She added that to improve the quality of learning, especially in early childhood development, there needs to be a whole-of-society approach.
We can't transform early learning in South Africa by relying on government alone. In fact, the very model of early child development centers in South Africa is largely outside of government intervention. These are centers that are led by mostly Black women who are entrepreneurs, who have stepped up in their societies and decided to provide child care in their communities. And so this is a model that we have to grapple with, because as government, we can't simply say we're going to create centers or schools of early child learning. This is an area that we know very little about, because this is the thing and the ingenuity about South Africans. They've created a whole system of child care, of entrepreneurship, without government intervention. So what do? You partner up with people. You say, teach us, let us support you, so that we can truly inject the kind of quality we want to see in early child learning. So you don't arrive like a bull in a china shop, but you hold hands and you say, teach us on how we can do this together. You have the footprint, we have the budget, the curriculum, and the training. And so we want to partner. And that's the kind of model in South Africa that we are following. And it becomes very, very important that we understand that no one has the monopoly on good ideas, let alone governments. And that often our social partners, many of you represented here, and even community members sometimes have better ideas. And as government, we ought to be humble enough to say, how do we partner with you to really develop and deliver a quality product?
Meanwhile, Deputy Minister Dr. Regina Mhaule reminded delegates that the time for talking has come to an end, and it is now time for concrete action plans.
We are no longer going just to talk. It's not a talk show. We must come up with a clear action plan. That what do we do? The program director indicated that children are not just non-existent people, are human beings. It's just that they are still at their young stage. So we must treat them as such and give them the dignity they're supposed to get. And we must come up with this G20, all that we're going to come up with here, it's not about policies, it's not about talking, it's about action. We need to put everything into action and build a strong foundation. And if we build a strong foundation when they are still very young and the entire foundation phase, then we have a strong system. We're not going to suffer as they grow up, and we help them to be innovative, to think. We need to create that ability to think in them.
Meanwhile, during the 2025 AVBOB Road to Literacy campaign held in Sandton, Minister Gwahube emphasized the importance of laying a strong foundation for reading and learning in the country. The campaign is in partnership with Oxford University Press, South Africa. It is one of South Africa's most extensive mobile library initiatives aimed at improving access to books for young learners, schools, and community organizations across all 9 provinces. Gwahube said the initiatives such as AVBOB Road to Literacy is important because they don't just put books in the hands of the children, they put tools for transformation in the hearts of our communities.
One of the things that South Africa has got right over the past 3 decades is to extend access to education for many children. And we've done a lot of work in trying to make sure that that is available. I mean, we are one of the few middle-income countries that have 98% coverage in terms of access to education. However, the conversation needs to move a little bit forward. In fact, it needs to leap forward, and we need to ask ourselves, while we may have access to education, how do we infuse quality in the kind of education that our children, particularly poor Black South Africans who still are on the fringes of economic opportunities, how do we introduce quality in that product that we offer to them? And so one of the things that we have seen, ladies and gentlemen, and it's backed by science, is that one of the things that I'm really, really pleased, for instance, that my predecessor decided to stick on with some of the international benchmarking tests that we take part in, because it helps us, place ourselves in the world, and we are not doing well when it comes to literacy and numeracy. And the biggest injustice here, woman, is that we obsess about matric results and making sure that we get that big matric results percentage, and we completely neglect the foundations of learning. And that's why in this 7th administration, we've said one of the key priorities is to strengthen the foundations of learning, is to strengthen literacy and numeracy from a young age. Then when they get to senior primary, the FET phase, you don't have to obsess about, are they taking maths? Are they passing? Because that takes care of itself. So if you lay the foundations, you get that right. So, initiatives like this one are absolutely critical for us, because we're taking books, we're taking books that are aligned to the curriculum to every single South African in the language of their choosing. And so for me, that is really an incredible partnership, and again, an example of what can be done when we, as corporate partners, as social partners, as government, work together.
The Department of Basic Education and Higher Education and Training, under the leadership of Director General Matanzi Mamweli and Dr. Nkosnathi Sishi, hosted the second Education Working Group meeting in Pilanesberg, Northwest. Mweli highlighted the significance of ongoing cooperation, saying that, as South Africa, the working group takes pride in the leadership role to prioritize foundation learning. He added that another priority is teacher training and acknowledgement of qualifications.
This is the second Technical Education Working Group meeting. We started with seminars, one focusing on early childhood care and education. The other one focused on the mutual recognition of qualifications within the global context. The first day was dedicated to plural pathways for early childhood care and education, where we looked at the available pathways that ECD practitioners or workforce should be taken through so that we have a capable workforce within the ECD space. But also we looked at the issues of quality assurance that are related to early childhood care and education. So today we're focusing on the mutual recognition of qualifications. And we started looking at what countries are doing in various spaces of where they come from, and we'll continue with this discussion until the end of the second day of the Technical Working Group.
The next G20 Education Working Group meeting will be held in July. When we return, we hear more about a trip for the 2024 National Teaching Award winners.
Are you moving house or office? Need a reliable and professional company to assist? Look no further. Sitewa Logistics is the one for you. With over 5 years' experience in home and office removals, Sitewa Logistics operates throughout South Africa and promises to transport your belongings carefully with ease and proficiency at an affordable price. Contact Sitewa Logistics today. Call 071-950-1148 for more information. Alternatively, send an email on info@sitewagroup.com. Sitewa Logistics, moving goods safely from point A to B.
Basic Education Deputy Minister Dr. Regina Mhaule said it is imperative for the sector to work with other stakeholders to eliminate the stigma around menstrual hygiene. She was speaking during the Education Indaba on the menstrual hygiene at the Capital On Park Hotel in Sandton. Menstrual health and hygiene management remains a critical factor affecting educational outcomes for girls in South Africa. According to research, girls miss multiple days of school due to inadequate access to menstrual products and facilities. Dr. Mhaule says the Indaba responds to a mandate given by the Portfolio Committee on Basic Education.
This Indaba directly responds to the mandate that we were given as the basic education sector by the portfolio committees to institute a coordinated whole of government approach and unprecedented opportunity to overcome these challenges through strategic alignment of mandates, resources, and expertise.
It was a celebratory day in Sandton as the winners of 2024 National Teaching Awards were seen off as they made their way to Denmark. The trip is part of many prizes awarded at the awards as part of the teacher development. The send-off brunch, hosted by the Department of Basic Education and First Rands Foundation, highlighted the essential role teachers have in prompting quality education in South Africa. The Deputy Director General for Social Mobilization and Support Services, Dr. Granville Whittle, addressed those in attendance.
You go there as ambassadors of our nation's hope, our resilience and educational renewal. It has often been said that teachers affects eternity, because you can never tell where their influence ends. Today you stand at the threshold of an experience that will not only enrich your own professional development, but hopefully ignite new ideas that will ripple through your classrooms, your schools, and your communities when you return. You are going abroad to join a global dialogue on education. Absorb as much as you can, but also remember that you carry with you stories, challenges, and triumphs of millions of South Africans. As Connie has said, it's also about you sharing our own strengths as a nation. This journey would not have been possible without the vision and commitment of our partners, especially FirstRand. You have demonstrated what is possible when the private sector steps forward not only as a funder, but as a true co-architect of our education future.
This is what some of the teachers had to say ahead of their trip to Denmark.
Hi everybody, my name is Mr. Jacob Tapela Mtinkulu from Northwest. I'm from Krizani Secondary School in Klerksdorp, the National Teaching Award winner, Excellence in Teaching Secondary School. I'm about to embark on a journey to Denmark right now, and I'm feeling very so excited about this trip. Now it's a divine turnaround to ensure that I integrate the skills that I'm going to learn in the first of the class. All the methods and also the skills. Now to ensure that the Department of Basic Education, such as your National Development Plan, Sustainable Development Goals, and other policies, we are able to reach them as a department. Now to integrate the skills, now we are able to transform our evolving education system, and I'm looking forward to ensure that I learn best of the best in the first world class. Thank you very much.
Good morning, my name is Rose de Donker. I am the principal of Patterson High School in Kebega in the Eastern Cape. I'm the winner in the category Excellence in Secondary School Leadership. Very excited to go to Denmark. We are very excited because we know they are a student-based, student-centered education system over there, where the students feel free to explore and to ask questions. There's a lot of collaborative and cooperative teaching, and we are just excited to learn a lot from them. We also know that they value well-being of learners, and I think we know that we are facing quite a few challenges here in South Africa in terms of learner well-being, and so we are going there to learn. We are going there to observe, and we are going there to steal some nice ideas for us that we can implement when we come back to our schools, and hopefully then enrich our community, maybe make a change in the lives of children even more than what we are currently doing. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Koliwe Mbata, but I'm called Kaden Mbata. I am from KZN. When I started the journey of the NTA competition, I was the principal of Rupon Primary School, but the opportunities that come with winning this competition has put me to the second management post. So I'm recently been appointed as a second manager. This whole program is an eye-opener for me. I'm very much excited about going to join to Denmark. I know I will learn a lot there. I'm looking forward to learn their strategies, how they collaborate their staff, how their education give learners skills which we don't have in our country. So I'm looking forward to learn a lot from there, and then try and see if I can come back and share with my officials and see if we can implement some of the stuff.
We are building the future. That's the word from the CEO of the South African Council for Educators, Ella Mokhalane, during the Teachers Practitioners Research Session. The two-day hybrid event was held in Gauteng under the theme Valuing Teachers' Voices towards a new social contract for education. Mokhalane went on to explain that they hope to achieve with the session.
It's also about creating structured space for teachers, practitioners, and student teachers to really exchange knowledge and teaching methods, support each other as mentors and coaches, and as we live to our provinces. And I'm hoping that after this colloquium, we'll really be able to create resourcefulness out of ourselves, because we would have shared the papers. And one of the vision that we have about those papers is to make sure that we create journal of all the papers that have been presented here.
And that's how we end this bulletin on the DBE TV News YouTube channel, the Department of Basic Education's YouTube channel, and on OpenView, channel 122. Remember to send through your stories or comments by contacting us on our X page, handle @the DBE TV News, and on Facebook, DBE TV News. Thank you for watching.